to Good Game. I'm Hex.
And I'm Bajo.
This week on the show, we experienced something a little bit fabulous and, dare I say, magical.
That's right, Hex. We ground out a few levels in the new free-to-play MMO Riders of Icarus, where you can ride a unicorn mount from the very start of the game.
Always I want to be with you and make believe with you and live in harmony, harmony always.
I don't know the words.
I think we should be unicorn bros.
Yeah, right. Done deal.
Yes.
Also tonight, we lose our heads and then put them on robot bodies in the 70s sci-fi-inspired Headlander.
Goose has an IMO for us as well, and NichBoy will be doing a first play of Bethesda's entry into the collectible card game genre with Elder Scrolls Legends.
But before all that, can you name the game for this week? Also, we discussed this. This is my week to wear plaid.
What's going on here?
This is my week. We talked about this.
You don't have a week. It's I wear whatever I want, and then you accommodate.
Classic Hex.
You don't got nothing to worry about. Except for that giant monster in the lake I was telling you about.
Headlander is a sci-fi Metroidvania-style game which, as the name suggests, is all about landing your head on things.
This comes to us from the always quirky folks at Double Fine, and their signature quirk is in full swing here. It's a dystopian future where almost all humanity has become immortal by ditching their fleshy bodies for shiny robot ones.
Welcome to the future.
The dream, Hex, the dream!
Yes, it's also the space 70s.
Yeah. The world is full of funky 70s decor and fashion, and of course, plenty of shag carpet.
Oh my.
Sci-fi in the 70s is a great combo, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they nailed the look and design of it all, and the synthy music is just great. There is also some nice camera work that zooms in or pulls back to really show off the most of the environment.
So you play as Headlander, a person who's woken from stasis by a mysterious voice who informs you you're probably the last human left. Well, you're the last human head left, at least.
Y'all gonna need yourself a body.
And you soon find out that there's an evil AI called Methuselah ruining society, and it's now your job to stop it.
And while you may just be a floating head, at least your head is encased in a rocket helmet, so you can fly. And it can easily attach to any headless body you come across. Yup, anybody.
And thankfully, the world is full of robots whose heads you can easily shoot off.
Damage received.
Or you can use your helmet's inbuilt vacuum to pull their heads right off, leaving their body wide open for you to land on and take control of.
Yeah, it's a strangely satisfying mechanic that opens up a whole lot of variety because you can put your head on pretty much anything. Mostly though, you need to take control of what are called shepherds, which are kind of like the police of this society.
Each shepherd has a color-coded security level along the spectrum of colors. So red shepherds are the lowest and only have access to red doors,
Access granted.
while violet has the highest clearance and can use any door.
Shepherds can't jump or climb either. So there's a bit of a puzzle-solving element in flying your head around to find a shepherd in the right place with the right clearance to let you progress.
I like how the doors make color-based puns if you don't have the right clearance to use them.
That last attempt really blew me away.
I did find it a little bit tedious having to backtrack to find another body with the right access if your body blows up. And they will blow up a lot because there's a lot of pew-pew action in this game.
Yeah, the combat is fun, but it's a bit messy. Each shepherd's weapon can bounce off surfaces, which is satisfying to use to your advantage. But the higher ranking a shepherd is, the more times its laser will bounce. So firefights tend to be just a mess of lasers bouncing around.
Yeah, you can take cover behind things, but I didn't really find that helpful because everything's just bouncing around anyway.
Triangulating position. Damage received.
I usually just ran in and blasted away.
Yeah, plus you're really only in danger of dying when you're in head mode.
Cease all emulation.
There is no victory.
And if a body you're in dies, you just fly away and get a new one, so it's easy to play this fast and loose.
Yeah, I did like how some shepherds have different guns, like split beams, and especially the ones that shot in crazy fractal patterns.
I think they could have done a better job with the upgrades. As you explore, you'll find hidden rooms that give you some extra health, or more energy for your helmet, which you use for shields and boosting around, but they give you a pretty insignificant improvement.
There are some new Spectrum Shepherds terrorizing everyone, and somebody needs to stop them.
You'll also find chunks of experience points and XP from missions and side quests that you can spend on improvements and abilities, like recharging health or stronger melee attacks, for example. But none of them are game changers, and that's a hallmark of Metroidvania kind of games, so I missed that here.
I don't know, I thought some of the upgrades were kind of cool. Like the one that lets you turn discarded bodies into turrets. Or turn anything you pick up into explosives.
I didn't really end up using those abilities much, and there isn't any equipment or other abilities that open up new areas, so there's not really much exploration, and that's what I like from these kind of games, so it all just felt a bit linear.
I mean, I know what you mean, but I just don't think that was really an issue. I didn't mind having it a bit streamlined and that it just directed me through the story.
I marked the satellite control terminals on your miniscan.
But that does mean it's a little short for a Metroidvania style game. It took about 6 hours to finish, and that was nearly 100%ing it. But we should wrap this up. Final thoughts?
Well, it may not be very deep, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I love any game that has a good sense of humor, and I had fun with this, so I'm giving it 3 stars.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by how much fun I had with this. I really loved it, and I had a smile on my face the whole way through, so I'm giving it 4.
Blue is the color of power and rotting flesh.
Now it's time for our first play. Here's NichBoy. What you got for us?
Elder Scrolls Legends is the latest digital collectible card game, and this one is from Bethesda and set in the Elder Scrolls universe. Now, it's a little bit Hearthstone and a little bit Magic the Gathering with a lot of Elder Scrolls peppered in there. I have been playing a little of the closed beta. I have been playing Band of Survivors. Let's try the Smuggler's deck. Oh, right! I get it. I'm on a boat, and it's rocking back and forth. So now these move across. That's gonna be difficult. Dead. Okay, I'm in a good position.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Oh no. Oh no, this is not looking good. She's pretty much got me. All right, I would love if you would stop hitting me. Oh, you're not listening. It's almost like you hear a computer. What? Oh, you sneaky pirate. We're playing again. Let's do the other deck. 1 damage to all enemies. Deal 1 damage. 4 to the face. 2 to the back. Always play a deck you know. Victory always feels very sweet. Now, for those of you who already play collectible card games, there's going to be a lot here that you recognize. And then for those of you who don't play collectible card games, I feel like you're going to look at that and go, yes, this looks like all other collectible card games. But there are some points of difference here that I do think makes Legends worthy of consideration. First up, the way you play the cards. You don't just have this one board where you're attacking all the other enemy minions. It's divided into these 2 lanes. So you can have a couple of heavily guarded cards on the right that forces the enemy to attack those, and then on the left you've got a lot of nimble cards that you're using to attack the enemy player. Also, in the game we just saw, there seemed to be some unique board condition. There was moving cards from left to right in a random way each turn, so hopefully there's more of that sort of stuff in the single player campaign, because that does add a whole new level of strategy. There's also quite a lot going on at the beginning that you need to learn. So you have a cutscene and then you pick a race and a class, and there's quite a few to choose from, and each of them play quite differently, and they all have unique cards that are only in that deck. Now that's no different from any other collectible card game, But when it's digital, it feels like you have a lot of options to choose from straight away. So my recommendation would be just grab one class and focus on that deck until you're comfortable with the game, then start expanding out to other ones. It's also like Magic the Gathering in that the decks are quite big. You build decks between 50 and 70 cards, so that's a lot of cards for you to learn and understand, but that also means there's a lot of depth and variety going on here, which lends for long, complicated games. The one big letdown for the game for me is its art style and its general look. It's just kind of boring to me. I mean, The Elder Scrolls has always been this sort of classic high fantasy where it's quite dry but very deep, whereas Hearthstone feels very alive and energetic. The cards have these great little animations and they change when you give a new ability to a card. It grows a shield around it, whereas here when a card gets guard, it just kind of gets a gold border with thicker lines, and that's not fun. That doesn't feel like it's a tanky shield card. It just feels, yeah, that one's in frame. And the boards in Hearthstone are alive. You can click on everything and things change. Legends feels very static. Here, the candles are alight, but it's the tiniest little flickering flame, and the books don't move. And I know this seems like a small thing, but it is a video game, and anything that feels as though it's exciting to play will add to wanting to become invested in this world. But it is still better than the Magic the Gathering digital board game. So it kind of goes Hearthstone, Elder Scrolls Legends, and then down on the floor here, Magic the Gathering digital versions. Maybe Magic people who love Magic but hate the digital version of that will flock to this because it seems to have a lot more of the depth that Magic does have, and Hearthstone is more of the sort of accessible, fun, very colorful version of that. So that was my third play of Elder Scrolls Legends. Will there be a fourth play? Yes, there will be. I'm keen to see how deep this game goes, but Bethesda, would it kill you to animate it just a little? Just make the book pages flip or something. You're killing me.
Thanks, NichBoy.
Well, are you still playing Pokemon Go? Because you might want to sit up for this one. Here's Goose with an IMO.
Unless you've been living under a Geodude for the past 4 weeks, you would have probably noticed a lot of this going on. Yes, the once innocent act of packs of youths loitering in dark public areas has now been corrupted by the latest cultural sensation that is Pokemon Go.
Pokemon with the pokey and the man in the thing where the guy comes out into the thing and he makes the fall out of that.
And sure, it's great. People are out socializing more, going outside and getting some exercise. But in my opinion, I think we all have to be careful. Not because you might find a dead body or fall off a cliff or get robbed or shot at or crash into a cop. Or get sent Diglett pics, although we should all be careful of that one. We have to be careful because it's so wildly popular. And as addictive as it may be, I think we can all agree, it's a bit shit, isn't it?
All right then, Pikachu, I choose you! Pikachu, what are you doing?
I mean, it's barely even a game. It's more of a glorified version of Paper Toss mangled onto Google Maps. And it's broken. It constantly crashes. The tracking is sporadic, and it's got more bugs than you can poke a Pokeball at. And yet, despite all of that, I still really want to catch them all. And this is a problem, because millions of you out there are in the same boat, loving this broken, shitty game. And what happens when millions of people love a broken, shitty mobile game? It rakes in the cash, and we get swamped with even shittier cash grabs. You can bet all your Pokemons that by Christmas, there's going to be hundreds of wannabe Pokemon Go clones cluttering app stores. And it's not just going to be nefarious bedroom coders trying to steal an idea to make a quick buck, it's going to be big players and big franchises trying to get their slice of this wandering around pie that's suddenly popped up. I mean, significant resources that could be spent on making the next AAA franchise are probably, as we speak, being funneled into some sort of augmented reality Call of Duty game instead. Or even worse, an Assassin's Creed feather hunting game, and oh my god, what have I got against Assassin's Creed? So I just want to avoid that whole situation. Publishers, developers, I implore you, let Pokemon Go be a one-off freak thing that took the world by storm. Don't try and copy it, because without the novelty of the idea and the passion for Pokemon, it's probably not even going to be successful. And if it is, well, we've seen the chaos one augmented reality game can cause out in public. What would hundreds do? This could be the start of some augmented reality Pokemon apocalypse. Apocalypse. Before we know it, every second game is going to want you to get up and go outside, and that is not a future I want to live in. But what do you think? Are you looking forward to a world full of augmented reality games? Or should we stamp them out now before they take over the rest of the world? Let us know on social media and we'll discuss it on tomorrow's episode of Pocket.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to the comments on that one.
Yes, let the flaming begin. Or dousing.
Team Mystic. Actually, I don't care. Well, it's certainly been a big month for hunting and collecting animals, but in Riders of Icarus, you also get to ride them.
Whoa, look at my unicorn!
Oh, that's sick. That's like a dark one.
He's got a dark past.
The door won't hold them for long.
You got this, Hex, you got this.
Okay, wish me luck.
Yeah!
Oh, it's happening. Oh, it's happening.
Oh, he's angry.
Oh, the cow is angry.
This is the power you sold yourself.
Get him. Oh, so many crits. Oh, I'm taming one as well.
Your parole has been denied.
We're doing this together. We are the masters of the spotted cows.
Oh man, this is the best mount I've had so far.
Let's go kill some of his friends.
Riders of Icarus is a free-to-play MMORPG by We Made Entertainment, a South Korean developer who've been making MMOs for about 16 years. They're mostly known for their Legend of Mir series. Hex, I'd never heard of this developer before, or Legend of Mir, but just for some context, a mobile port of Legend of Mir 2 in China alone earns 133 million Australian dollars a month.
Yeah, that's a lot. And so this means that it has an experienced team behind it. But is this an MMO that you should definitely carve out time in your life for?
Well, it does have a few things going for it. The story setup is that there's a war going on between gods of order and chaos. After being ambushed, you're locked up in a prison and rescued by bad voice actors in armor.
Where's the princess? I'm sorry. I failed. Rondo took her.
I have to admit though, Hex, I quite liked this voice acting.
Oh, why, Bajo?
I don't know, it kind of made me feel like I was in an 80s He-Man cartoon.
Crow sends his regards. Hop on. I'll get you to the capital.
And the art is a bit 80s as well. For example, after you bust out of prison, you fly off into the sky to catch a ride with a giant stingray who crashes. Fabulous.
The art in this game is honestly like every desktop background I would have had on my PC when I was 13. It's fairy castles and unicorns and pastels. It's all very pretty. I think I like my fantasy with a little bit more grit in it personally.
Those boars chose a bad time to go crazy on us.
This game takes you into old school MMO territory straight up. You attack boars and put out fires for a while, and then go about fighting some adorable Ewok creatures until eventually you tame your first animal. And yes, it's a unicorn!
And taming and riding those animals is the major theme or hook to this game.
Once it's under your spell, it'll never stray. Wish I could say the same about my boyfriend.
The process of taming rideable mounts is super easy.
Sharp. Yeah, nay!
Have you ever met my pet turtle?
See my...
That's not what I could ride.
You want to see my... That's amazing.
And you can even tame more than one and turn them into pets who can fight with you.
Do you want to see my tiny horse?
Yeah.
Look, it's so tiny.
Amazing. I've got a tiny woodland Joey who fights with me.
Oh yeah, see, I kept mine big.
Look, we can all be on Joeys.
Although I found it a little bit odd that this is a game that really celebrates animals and magical creatures and you can ride them, but then half the quests have you killing adorable foxes and innocent deer.
Here we go, we gotta kill some reindeer, because this game asks you to just murder animals.
It's just everything is so pretty. I really resented feeling like Hex the unicorn rider and murderer of woodland creatures.
It's a circle of RPG life, Hex, and they respawn quickly, so whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it is exciting having so many different creatures to tame, like wolves and weird kangaroo Joey things.
We look amazing though. I like, the more I play this, the more I'm like, it's kind of fabulous, this game in its own way.
It's certainly fabulous.
I was instantly jealous of those people I saw riding around on amazing dragons.
We look amazing.
Oh, but look at this dude's sick dragon. I want one of those so bad. Oh, I don't want this stupid unicorn. I want that.
I want that too. I don't have it. I just got unicorn and bloody Joey.
Somehow my spotted cow just didn't compare.
I'm gonna ride the cow.
And then at one point I turned one of my unicorns into a pet, which made him really, really tiny, and I sent him out to fight for me.
Go, Uni, go!
Oh, he's going for it. He's doing a good job.
Fighting a wolf. It's unicorn versus wolf. Baby unicorn fights the wolf. He's dead! No!
We will avenge you! We will avenge you!
My mini turtle didn't help very much. I found juggling all of these animals a bit annoying, to be honest. You have to get your pet out manually, set it to guard or attack mode every time, then switch back to mount, then have a mount run out of stamina to switch to another. I love the idea, but all of that needs to be streamlined because it was so tedious.
Yeah, there are a few interface issues I think they're still working out. And, you know, when your mount runs out of stamina, that encourages you to switch to another one and level that one up too.
I just don't see why they should run out of stamina for sprinting. And it's not even much faster than the normal trot. They just try to make it seem faster by adding this blurring and sound effect, and it's just horrible. Why would they do that?
Yeah, I 100% agree. That was awful. Eventually, you can use mounts in combat, even in the sky, but we haven't got that far into the game yet. But we did get a sense of how flying works, and it's pretty good. There's a reasonable amount of freedom, but you will hit the ceiling of the world pretty quickly, and there are even a few invisible walls. And this, once again, makes it feel like a very old, dated MMO, full of invisible boxes and just not very open.
Yeah, that first big city you come to looks so good in the distance, but when I got there, Hex, it was pretty empty.
Hakanus Castle. No birds allowed though, I bet. Yeah. Birdist.
But the game does a brilliant job of training you in all of the professions. In fact, all of the direction in the game is pretty polished.
Even alchemy cannot make something out of nothing.
The way you move through the zones, following a little compass on the side, it all works and the progression makes sense.
This is like a training thing.
May the blessings of Allura be with you.
May the blessings of Allura be with you.
Yeah, it does pull you along well.
Yeah, I was never lost or overwhelmed by the mechanics or questing. I will say though, the telegraphing was pretty average. In MMOs like WildStar, you get these big telegraphing indicators on the ground and they're fantastic, but there was none of that here.
Yeah, it's true. You just get those little indicator bars above their heads, like old school WoW.
Yeah, and that would be okay, except that while the game didn't feel laggy, I still got hit by those big attacks and the few times I managed to avoid them, which might be due to lag, which is disappointing.
Interestingly, the challenge you experience in this game is going to be largely down to which class you choose. There are 5 classes, but if you're playing a Berserker or a Guardian, they're meant to be a little bit easier. But a Wizard or an Assassin takes more skill.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, Hex. You know, most MMOs I feel like all of the classes are reasonably balanced in terms of difficulty and how you play them, but I was playing the Assassin here and I think our experiences were quite different.
Yeah, I was playing the Guardian, which I think was classed as normal, but I had heaps of armor and health, and in the first 10 levels I didn't die once. I had this cool chain ability though that I quite liked. Come here.
I'm gonna take out my little Joey to help. Oh, that's a cool ability. Flap, flap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so much easier with a friend. Hey, buddy. Whoop. And then a kick, and then I was kicking.
That's gonna be fun.
I died heaps, and you know, I've played hundreds and hundreds of hours of rogues before.
Yeah, rogues are your jam.
Yeah, right? And I never felt skillful as the assassin here. I also found that as soon as I was close to leveling up, I'd be hit with some really tough fight that I just couldn't do alone, and I'd have to wait for help or grind, which isn't fun. So there was a lot of downtime where I'd just sit there and heal. And then just hoping I didn't aggro more than one enemy during fights.
Yeah, it's not the best MMO combat out there by far. But I do like how you have 2 options for combat controls, traditional MMO or action combat. Action is similar to more modern MMOs and more about directional combat than tab targeting. But it still somehow feels dated, and you still have to tab target.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy the combat overall. It just wasn't that satisfying. Having said that, and there's a lot of things that I don't like in this game, after about 10 levels, I did start to gel with the gameplay loop.
Looking for... Yes, the answer must be in their homes.
Level up.
I'm worried about the princess.
Play with a new skill, upgrade some gear, go to a new area, rinse and repeat. This is free to play, and I never really felt the need to spend money in this game, although I did run out of bank space pretty quickly.
I put so much gear in that stupid thing, and now I can't get it back.
But my main issue with Riders of Icarus is that it just feels like it belongs in 2009. I just think the whole thing is a bit of a dog's breakfast.
I think one of my biggest issues is just the gear. Oh, where do I start? I mean, look at these pants. Or are they shorts? I don't know. Ports? Shants?
You have my support, at least in secret.
I don't understand why you would want one leg cold and one leg warm.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Although someone has said they are the perfect pants for that person that needs to sleep with one leg out of the doona. In general, though, the female armor is pretty ridiculous.
Yes, the gear is all pretty out there in general, and I don't think I even want the top tier stuff. Look at this. I look like I'd be cosplaying as Elvis. Having said all that, the character creator is pretty detailed, and you just can't deny that everyone looks a little bit fabulous.
I was wondering as I was creating my character, Bajo, how you were going to go creating your traditional hideous character. I mean, the only options you really get in this game are 20 different kinds of beautiful.
Yeah, I did struggle, Hex, but I think I had a bit more luck with my initial creation. See if you can spot him in this scene.
Damn it. We need to get word to the king.
Overall, I did get into the MMO zone a little bit, but then I just couldn't help but feel like I was wasting time in this and wished that I was playing Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, it is possible that all that sky combat might push this over the line for MMO fans. And apparently you end up fighting huge titans, and that does look quite fun. But there also wasn't much of a community vibe, and the servers did feel a bit quiet to us.
Well, if you're a fan of collecting and taming animals and looking fabulous, then this might be the game for you, and it is free to play. I'm giving it 2 stars.
It's just also dated, and I just did not enjoy it. I can't find a reason to recommend this to someone. Also, you can't invert the mouse, which for someone like me is completely maddening, so I'm giving it 1.5 out of 5 stars.
I just aggroed a cow.
Yeah. Oh, the moves.
So, dear viewers, did you name the game for this week? It was Psychonauts from 2005. You played Raz, a young boy with gifted psychic abilities who uncovers a sinister plot while training to become a Psychonaut agent. Surprising, clever, funny, this game was all of those things.
And then you'll make their heads explode?
No. Do you do that?
No. Well, once kinda.
And it's unnamed the game because, of course, it was developed by Double Fine Productions, the same team behind this week's Headlander.
And speaking of Double Fine, next week on the show, NichBoy is going to take us on a special behind-the-scenes look into their studio in San Francisco.
So this room is a room that we often use for art jams.
Plus, we'll be suiting up to fight crime in the first episode of Telltale's Batman.
Well then, time to save the city.
We also play the new game from the art director behind Journey. It's called Abzu.
So until next time, Bajo out.
Hex out. So you want to work out like a schedule, or are we just going to keep winging it?
Let's just roll the dice.
Really?
Let's see what happens.
What else do I have that you also have? Red shoes?
Red shoes, yeah. Spider-Man underpants?
What's your activewear collection like? Because I've got a lot.
What's activewear?